Hi guys, welcome to our ninth video to the MySQL series. This video is dedicated to the topic called as triggers. So today we will be talking about triggers. Just confirming whether yes, my recording is running. So triggers we will be covering today in SQL. So what triggers exactly are? Triggers are a functionality given to us by SQL wherein we can execute triggers on a specific table on a specific time to perform a specific operation. So it is nothing but a simple phenomena by which we can execute a special event on a table on a specific time to perform a specific operation. So let's just see it practically how we can do triggers. So, guys, today I am using the MySQL workbench rather than the MySQL command line client. It is simple, nothing complicated in it. So first I'll do the command show databases, and I will run this command. Then I will use our tutorial database. Tutorial database. Okay, so let's select this, let's run it, and yes, we are using tutorial. So our next command will be show tables, and we will run this query. So guys, we have contact list, employee info, product, and table. So I want to use table product. Let's see the description of product table. So I will ask MySQL to describe products. Guys, I hope that you are able to see the commands. Let me do a control plus plus. Yeah. So first we fired the command show database, then we used the tutorial database, then we used show tables, and now we are seeing the description of product. So in the description of product, we have product ID, we have product name, we have category, we have description, we have price, and we have stock quantity. So let's create a trigger where whenever we are inserting a price in the product table, let's say if we insert negative price, it gives us some error because negative price is not a acceptable quantity for price, and it gives us a meaningful error. So we'll create the event trigger here. Let's create it. Let me write the query for creating trigger. So I'll say create trigger, and I will call this trigger as before product price insert. So guys, as a part of syntax, we have to use delimiter before writing the trigger. So I'll use the delimiter here, and it will be delimiter, and then I'll call this trigger as before product price insert. Now I will write before insert, I'll call it before insert, so before insert basically identifies the event where on how we on what specific time we want to run this particular trigger. So Before means before inserting a record to the product table, it will run this trigger in the SQL. So I have created the trigger before product price insert. I have given the condition before insert on, let's call it product table, before insert on product. Now I will say for each row, and then we will use the begin clause, begin, and in begin we will write if. So we'll give a if condition. Just a minute guys. If, then we will say new dot price, new dot price is less than 0, then if new dot price is less than 0, then we will say signal, and we'll say SQL state, signal SQL state, and we'll give the 45,000. So guys, the value of 45,000 basically is a generic SQL state, which means unhandled user defined exception. 45,000 is used for specifying the unhandled user exception. So I will send a set message text. I will set the message text, and I'll call this message text as price cannot be negative, and put a semicolon. Let's check. Yes, I'll put a semicolon, and after that I'll type end if, and then we'll give end, and then we will close our delimiter and provide a semicolon delimiter. So end will require a semicolon here. So guys, let's put this. Let's check delimiter, and if also requires a semicolon here. And yes, it's not valid. Let's remove this. Okay guys, we have created our trigger. In this trigger we are calling it as before product price insert. So we will trigger this particular triggerer on before insert, and what we are exactly doing is we are checking if the product price by any means a user is providing a negative value to the product price, he will get a price cannot be negative exception. So let's just run this particular trigger guys and check whether if it is created or not. So we'll do that. We have selected our trigger, and yes guys, we have created this triggerer. Let's see. In order to check whether the particular triggerer is created, we will use the command show triggers, and let's check it. And yes guys, we have created this trigger before product price insert on insert, and let's just guys, this triggerer update was created before, and this insert we have created it right now. So let's test this particular triggerer. So I'll write the query of insert. So I'll say insert into, let's just yes. So I'll write the query insert into products, wherein I will specify it is not products, it will be product. I will specify product underscore name, and then I will specify category, and then I will specify description. Okay, and then I will specify price, product name, category, description, price, and stock quantity. Stock underscore quantity, and then I will provide values in it, and in, let's check what is the values I will pass as, let's say I'll call it new, and then I'm providing dummy data guys here. So I'll provide lap, and then my last is Bob, and let's say in price I am giving the minus data, I'll call it -1, and in stock quantity I am giving data as 2, and then I'll close it, and then I'll give the semicolon. Let's try running this query and check whether our triggerers work or not. So I'll run this query, and you can see guys here price cannot be negative. If we check this particular error we are getting, price cannot be negative. Let's try running this query for this particular product table in our SQL client. So I'll open our command line client. I'll zoom in a little bit. I'll say Aman, and then I'll do show databases, and in show database we are having this tutorial, so I'll use the tutorial here, and our triggerer is already created, so I'll do show triggers. So yes guys, we have two triggers here. One is before product price insert, other is before product price update. So I'll try to implement this query which I have implemented here. I'll try implementing it in our, I'll do a paste anyway, and then and guys, you can see we are getting this 45,000 error 1644, price cannot be negative, which we have defined in our trigger before product price insert. So this is how our triggers work guys. We can implement one more thing I would like to show you. I would like to show you how to drop a trigger. So basically we can drop this trigger also, which we have created. So for that the command is drop trigger, and then I will give the trigger name which I want to drop. So I want to drop before product price insert trigger. So I'll give this trigger name, I'll give a semicolon, and yes, our trigger is dropped. How we can check that? We'll do show triggers, and yes guys, our trigger which we created right now is dropped. So that's it for today's video guys. If you like the content, please consider subscribing, share it with your friends, and let me know if you want me to make videos on any other related topics. Thank you guys, that's it for today.